Anderson Library is now 19 years old, but it's been part of my life for over 50 years. My family moved here when I was 5 years old, and my father took a position as the director of the Immigration History Research Center, which is now one of the collections in Anderson Library. We used to go pick him up at the end of the day, and he was never ready. So my younger brother, and I would entertain ourselves by playing hide and seek in the stacks. So I literally did grow up in the stacks. You know, for him, it was about the recognition and inclusion of Italian Americans in particular, but the immigrant voices more generally, and the having a respect and an appreciation for people's experiences and what they brought to the table. So it felt really natural for me to say, I'm doing the same thing, but instead of the Italian Americans, instead of the Ukrainian Americans, I'm doing the GLBT community. But it's the same mission. It's to allow people to articulate their own authentic experience and to demand that history include that and include those voices. And the fact that he had played a role in getting the building built that was now housing a GLBT collection was a source of real pride for me. Early on, I'd been here I think about 2 months, because I started in February and it was the very beginning of April. Jack Baker and Michael McConnell came in to meet with us to talk about the materials that they had. And they brought along one notebook of letters that they had, one of many. And they said they had many notebooks, and this was one, and they showed it to us. And Michael McConnell had done this beautiful front plate on the notebook, and they were all in plastic sleeves, beautifully organized. And I started looking through them, and I think Jack had to practically pry that notebook out of my hands at the end of the meeting because I wanted it so badly. Thinking about the possibilities of that collection and what was in that collection and how scholars and students would access that and repurpose and explore that was so energizing and so exciting. I think it's a factor in most of the GLBT collections that there tends to be much more cisgendered gay male content. And Jean tried to do outreach. I mean, he wanted to include other things, but we all have connections that we bring from our lifetimes of activism and involvement. And so I think I have really focused on adding lesbian content, content from people of color, the transgender community, the bi, pan, fluid, omni community, to really try and balance us out a little bit. And especially on campus, my sense is that issues around gender, the transgender community, genderqueer, that's really where the energy is. And if we want to be responsive to the students and what they're interested in, what they're studying, we really needed to get into that space and put some content in the archive, add to our content in the archive. I think I'm very proud that we've received 2 national awards based on the work that I've done in the collection. I think we've really put the archives, put the Tretter Collection on the map in a way that I had no expectation that we would be able to do when I started. And I'm really proud of the materials that I've brought in and the fact that we are now a more diverse collection. The Tretter Transgender Oral History Project is probably the most ambitious project of its kind being done anywhere in the world at this point. And I'm very proud of having laid the groundwork for that, come up with a way to make that happen, raise the money, hiring the staff, and bringing us to a phase 2 and the ability to keep that going. The feedback from the students, I've had a lot of students who've worked in the archive, and it has really changed them. It has really shaped how they view themselves and their community and their place within society. And to watch them see themselves in the archive and see themselves within a history of a community of people is really powerful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will miss you.
I'll miss you.